How's it going there, true believers? It is I, Shane, and I'm here to give you another X-Men 97 episode review. Today's episode is episode 6, entitled Lifedeath Part 2. That's right, we're going to continue on with that Storm storyline. But before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews just like this one. And be sure to go ahead, if you want to support me even further, Patreon link is right down there in the description. Boy, oh boy, this whole episode wasn't dedicated to that. There was some mixing going on here, and I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed in the beginning. I hate the Shi'ar. I'm just gonna flat out, I do not like the Shi'ar. It seemed like any Marvel thing that deals with space, everyone in space is an asshole. Kree, they suck. Skrulls, they suck. Shi'ar, they suck. Bird idiots, weird chin idiots, and blue, sometimes purple people idiots. Just, can you think of something from Marvel space that doesn't suck? Even the Nova Corps has like 2 decent people. I think everybody else is dead. I think everybody else might be dead, but still, space stuff, these people just suck. And so, of course, when I saw they show those little sneak peek trailers, they always show you just the beginning. They don't show you anything too important. And I saw the Shi'ar. I saw Gladiator back, and someone was telling me, and I thought 97 had changed this, because I know in the comics Charles goes into space. Hell, at the end of the original X-Men anime series, it's like, oh no, he doesn't die. We're going to take him to space and heal him. So when they were hammering home from the first episode, yeah, Charles is dead. I don't like Charles Xavier. He's a hypocrite. He's a jerk. Don't like him. Charles Xavier's a jerk. Believe Kitty Pryde. And so he's back. And so we got 2 parts of this episode. We got the Charles part. We got the Storm part. We're going to talk about the Charles part because that is the part that is least important to me. But first, let's talk about the little Easter egg things. Let's do some Easter eggs. So, the previously on X-Men, that's done by Storm. That's pretty nice because Storm-centric episode, duh. In the intro, Nightcrawler replaces Gambit. Rest in peace, Mr. Gumbo. He gone, y'all. Well, you see him again later, but he gone. He gone for this one. We also have, we have more we have the same cut-ins with not just the Phoenix, because that's with the Shi'ar, and not just the X-Men fighting the Shi'ar. But there's also a lot of Sentinel stuff. We see Nimrod. We see him inside of Master Mode. We see Bishop. I think a future Storm with her, punk outfit, and a future Logan in his, what if Logan was Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. outfit, killing a Nimrod. Then we got the other Charles Xavier kissing stuff, Just Nightcrawler running in and him being part of the intro. He'll probably never be part of the intro again, so that's nice to see. Just the circumstances would really, really suck, right? What are some more Easter eggs? Well, here's an Easter egg. We get to see the 3rd Summers brother, Gabriel Summers, aka Vulcan, who is an Omega level mutant. Just pure energy. And it's interesting, while Scott and Havoc's powers do not affect one another, Vulcan can hurt the both of them. I believe Gabriel was cut out of their mom because she was pregnant when the whole thing crashed and was made to age up by space people. One thing that is also interesting is the fact that in this anime series, Havoc and Scott didn't know that they didn't talk about the fact they were brothers. So probably won't happen this season, but I'm gonna need that to be addressed next season. Maybe have a little mini arc with Vulcan being the bad guy, and they got to fight him, or maybe get him back. I don't know, but that needs to be addressed. Now we're talking about the Shi'ar. So the main issue is Lilandra, as Deathbird is doing their Deathbird thing, and they're trying to find a supreme intelligence because the Shi'ar, these bird people, which we'll find out a little bit later on, because I gotta say what Charles said point for point. As much as I don't like him as a character, he was making good points here. They were trying to fight the Kree, find the Supreme Intelligence, which has fled somewhere. Who knows? The wider Marvel universe, animated universe, is expanding in here, and that's great. Actually, Captain America did make a cameo in the original with Wolverine, because they're both old and they did Civil War stuff, and no, not Civil War stuff. Duh, Cap's not that old. They did World War II stuff. Logan was around during the Civil War era, though, and I know Earth's Mightiest Heroes touched on that too. Really good cartoon. This is like almost a return to form of all this, but I digress. Let's talk about some more things, right? So the main issue with Charles becoming the emperor or husband is all presented because he's different, right? Even in space, there are racist assholes talking about he's a Terran, but he's not even the best Terran. He's low class. He's a mutant, and I love how when things break down and it starts a fight, Xavier's like, not like this. Hold on a second. Let me do what I do best. Good job, Charles. Charles shows up in this outfit that, if you know the cover of Uncanny X-Men number 275 from 1991, that is when he plays what was the name of the character he was, because he looks a lot like Strife, the clone of Cable, but he's not. I can't remember his name in that book when he was pretending to not be himself, but he has this exo armor that lets him walk. And Deathbird does this, invokes this right called Mdashala. And Charles is like, I read that my fifth day here. I know what that is. And her challenge is he has to have his mind erased of all things of Earth in his precious X-Men, because she calls Earth ghetto. So it's annoying to me when people use ghetto, but never mind. She calls Earth ghetto, believes that he's just trying to make it out because they will be in alliance with Earth. I don't know why that's so bad, but okay. And well, that's just pretty selfish in this, right? It's the whole, well, you you love me, right? Well, yeah, bitch, I love you, but you want me to forget. Everybody, even when Charles is talking to Gladiator, he's saying, I have a friend that kind of talks like you, thinking that idealism is stupid. He even brings up, hold on, because I'm going to say this person's name completely wrong. I laughed hard when Charles called Deathbird dramatic. He's like, you're so dramatic. He brings up Rudyard Kipling, which is troubles being a myth, right? What's the point of being united if you got to erase yourself just to be a part of something? And he's like, I don't want to forget my friend. And you definitely don't want to forget him now, dude, because he ain't nothing but dust in the wind. So, yeah, Charles is fighting against this and arguing. And he was so ready to do it. But when the Chancellor man is going, you're going to forget Earth. He's like, yep, you're going to forget your X-Men. He hesitates. Not just does Charles have powerful psychic abilities, it's also Lalandra. God, I hate the Shi'ar so much. And then that's when the battle breaks out, and he puts them on the astral plane in his little green outfit. Man, she said he had freak fluids. I'm going through my notes here. Deathbird, just gross. Anyway, we're going to go down a little bit. So, I love how Charles say, everybody just raise your hands. We're in class. And every time Deathbird tries to get up, he puts her back in the seat, throws an apple in her mouth. Even the Chancellor raises his hand and talks about might makes right. And he's like, the rhyme that sells the lie, right? Which is, anybody that tells you that, they're an asshole. It's the same people as, I'm sorry you feel that way. Just, I'm putting it out there, they're assholes. But Charles breaks it down and tells about their culture. You cull younger worlds that could be rivals, and you harvest these stolen worlds, and you cut them off at the knees, only claim that they'll walk again only if they assimilate to what you're trying to do. It's a snake oil racket, right? And he says that we got to pillage from one another. For me to be more, you have to be less. Your existence against mine. Why is that? Who made those rules? This is one of the shining things of X-Men 97. Is a lot of this stuff is relatable. Who there are people, think back to people in your life or people you know, hell, you might even be that person who willing to step over somebody just to get what you need. Sometimes you do have to do what you got to do if you have no choice. But when you have a choice, why? Why does it have to be? Why do we have to be fighting? Why is me succeeding taking food from your plate? Why is that, right? And the Shi'ar High Council, the Chancellor, they're saying, well, you know, the idealism is going to confuse people. And he's like, coexistence is messy. You know, the universe is super old. We're made from stardust and shit, man. But we're super young, bro. And he's making headway. And then he gets the flash of skeletons all sitting in chairs. And then a Gambit whose black and red eyes turn to a skeleton, and it's like, Gambit, no, what, no? And he's freaking out, properly freaking out, going, they were dancing, drinking wine, they were making love, no. And he's like, I gotta go back to my people. Straight up, Lilandra is, but we almost have them. If you go back, you'll be proving her right. He's like, I'm not abandoning them, which, good on you. Although Lilandra makes a point earlier that part of being a teacher is getting your students to stand on their own, which, you know, as I got older as a comic reader of the X-Men, that's what I kind of figured out myself, especially with all of the skeletons that came from Charles's closet, you know, the fawning over Jean, the lies, the holding back of people's powers, that whole entire hidden team that died when he tried to go save his other team. He never told anybody about it. All of the lies and deception and things, which it would have been nice if he was just able to just go off in space. I also find one of the things I find very funny, small tangent about AVX, is everyone caring about Cyclops killing Charles Xavier when it's like, Avengers, you didn't give a shit about him. Please stop it. Please stop pretending. And everybody who likes Charles Xavier, I'm not throwing shade on your like for the guy, is when you get older and you realize that they're trying to paint him as the good guy with the whole, you know, oh, non-violence. I get that. But Charles's way is so damn warped. You even see in that Hellfire massacre, Charles Xavier, it tries to prove so much that, you know, mutants can be good, that he makes huge sacrifices that you really shouldn't make. And he does it without any type of, I'll say, counsel from others. Does it way too many times. Mr. Dream this and Dream that. Magneto was right. Cyclops was right. But so here he's not gonna abandon it. He's got to go back. And now we're going to talk about the main course, the best part of this episode. Storm trying to take care of Forge after he got bitten by the adversary, which, you know, they did in the recap. And this whole time is just the adversary wanting Storm to abandon Forge, you know, feeding off of her self-loathing and misery. Now in the comics, Forge actually summoned the adversary himself, but here he's making it seem as though he had called the beast in from his own self-loathing and pity from being out there in the desert, wherever they are. I'm going to assume they're in the Southwest Americas, from all that self-loathing. She's like, no, I have a part in this too, because she as well has tons of self-loathing. But we find out that what was really holding back Storm's powers, which, you know, now that you think about it, makes a lot of sense, was herself and her buying into the big lie. The conversation she had with Jean saying, you know, sometimes I do wonder what it's like to be human. She even says here that she believes, well, you know what? Getting zapped with that thing is a blessing, right? I can just be normal, and it doesn't matter how many people I saved. I'm still hated and hunted because of my mutant gifts. But when, you know, when it's time to put up and shut up, when it's time to get the Midnight Chola, a magical plant that could, you know, heal the demon bite and save her love, because that's her love, that's her man, she doesn't. She breaks free, and Storm is a magical girl, and I don't know how, after all this time, it just clicks now. Because even before she lost her powers, it's like, I'm gonna put my suit on like this, lightning. Whoo, she did it in the original. Not really part of her original power set, but it's Storm, and we shall allow it. She's a magical girl. just flat out, and I'm here for it. I'm here for Sailor Storm, goddess of the weather, right? Her, and when she's decreeing that she's not going to give in to self-loathing, to, you know, wanting to believe the big lie that being normal is okay, that mohawk becomes full-length hair. She gets that black headdress. She is in her original 1975 outfit with the midriff, the black, and all of that. Amazing. Actually, her mega power is back because you can see the storm from outer space. Love that visual. Such a good visual. But it looks like she beat the adversary. Things a demon is probably going to come back. You know, we see a bit of Forge's shamanic magic, that his mother did some desert magic. He paid attention enough to be able to do things and banish the demon. Not get rid of it, but banish it. Sure hope that problem doesn't bite them in the ass again, because in the comic books they had to sacrifice 9 lives. The 9 X-Men had to die to send this thing back to hell. Then Roma appears and Roma goes, no, you guys are noble, live. So I'm glad they did it this way, because we have so many moving cogs in this show. You can't go, okay, well, gotta have these sacrifices. Oh boy, with this Genosha thing, and then they gotta do that, and then oh boy, we gotta introduce Roma and deal with that stuff, and here comes Excalibur. But this was a fine way of doing it. And Storm reclaiming her power herself, as opposed to Forge being her savior and doing it himself. I like that better, because the only thing that was blocking her was her. Just this part was just amazing, and this part ended before the Charles part, because they had to show his reaction to the skulls, and I need to go back home. And at the end of this, when they're chilling, and he's turning on that 90s entertainment system. If you lived through that era, you know what I'm talking about. And they see the news with Genosha, saying that mutants that were, kind of displaced because Genosha has been destroyed, they're not going to be given sanctuary. They got to go back to their countries of origin, which sounds vaguely familiar. Sounds very reminiscent of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that issue. So in X-Men 97, the UN are assholes and pretty much useless, right? That was so good. I enjoyed that Storm part so much. But this episode did not end without... I don't even know how to describe this part here, because we see Oliver Trask. We see Trask running, saying, I did what you want. I gave you my DNA to activate the master mode. Please leave me alone. If you're going to kill me, kill me. And the familiar voice appearing, saying, he's not going to kill him. It's Mr. Sinister. For whatever reason, I thought it would be Cassandra Nova, but it's not Cassandra Nova. For whatever reason, Mr. Sinister has gotten Trask's DNA, made the Wild Sentinel. That's what it was called in the E for Extinction comic. It's called the Wild Sentinel. It looks much better here than it did in the comic book. I'm just going to say that. And activated, and things have literally just begun. I don't know where this goes. And Sinister does have deep ties with Apocalypse. We keep seeing those flashes of Apocalypse, but at the same time, we saw Bastion from Zero Tolerance, one of my favorite storylines in the comics. We saw Zero Tolerance here. Bastion from Zero Tolerance. He was there at Genosha. Eagle-eyed people were able to see when Magneto looked around the room. He was in his line of sight, but I suppose he didn't know who he was at the time. So Sinister's working with Bastion. I mean, he's all about evolution and genes. Is he doing all this just so he can have more samples, just so he can make himself better in the future? I don't know, but just mutant villains are annoying, right? The ones that are not Magneto, the ones that are like, oh, I'm gonna mess up everybody because I got this own little personal goal. I hate being persecuted. Why are you doing the asshole thing then, man? So is this gonna be Apocalypse coming back? I mean, the way Gambit looked with the fact that Charles saw the face, and in the comic books, Gambit, it does become one of Apocalypse's horsemen, the one of death. I mean, Cable said he's coming. Who's coming? Sebastian? Is it Apocalypse? Hell, could this thing here, could he not even be talking about Bastion? Could he be talking about Apocalypse coming back and just this thing setting off? You got to fight these two villains. Just so in the future, you got to fight this other one. We're at episode 6 now. We got 4 more episodes until this is all done. I think the next episode is called Bright Eyes or something like that. So who knows what the hell that's going to be about. But this shit is cool and it's wild. The only thing that just I'm not into Shi'ar stuff. I don't like the bird brains. They're annoying. The only death bird that I actually liked was the death bird that showed up during the schism, and she's technically, does she have the hots for Bobby? This is before Jean outed Bobby. Pretty sure she had a thing for Bobby. But then doesn't Deathbird have a kid with Cannonball? I don't remember, and I don't feel like looking it up live. I feel like no, that was a different warrior lady. But yeah, no, that's the only Deathbird I like. But now there's another Deathbird, a Wakandan superhero lady. Just monikers are what they are. That anybody can take these things up. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shi'ar stuff. But the storm, seeing her Omega, getting the African drums, the explosion, the magical girl transformation, all of that, all makes this episode just instant 5 out of 5. Even the again, not big on Shi'ar stuff, but the dialogue there was riveting. And it's interesting to get me at first to go, damn, I even though, because of my feelings towards Charles Xavier, going, damn, Landra has a point, dude. Let your students grow. That's one of the things that you need them to do. Unless I have another lesson. No, shut up. There's always, you're constantly learning throughout your life. There will always be another lesson. Just you can't let go. He even wanted her to consider Earth. But now, knowing that his people are in dire straits, yeah, he's gonna come back, which good on you. The whole setup of all this was crazy. I would have let Gladiator kill Deathbird instead of him going, I gotta be peaceful, take it to the astral plane. Now I just would let Gladiator beat her face in, which he does when she tries to attack Lilandra. He just gets in front of her. Pow. 5 out of 5. My favorite part was Storm Magical Girl transformation. I hope someone takes that whole entire clip and put the Sailor Moon music over it. It deserves that amazing treatment. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for where this story is heading? Because, again, because of the nature of the X-Men anime series, taking elements from the source material, but also doing its own thing and mixing it up, I actually don't know who is our big bad. Like, Tolerance's extinction. Is that Bastion? Is that Apocalypse? Who? I'm hoping by episode 8 we know what's going on here. But again, let me know what you think. Do not forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment below. I actually want to know what you think of the series so far. Who do you think is going to be the big villain at the end? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews just like this one. For anyone asking about Echo, I have not forgotten about Echo. Just got to get to it so I can binge it. There's so much 1-hour television. It's kind of hard to fit it all in when you have life things, right? But thank you, everybody. I appreciate you for being here. Please be good, be blessed, wash those hands, drink some water, stay safe out there, all right? Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right, we got too many of those out there. As a matter of fact, if you're feeling down and out, reach out to someone. There are people out there that care about you and would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow, okay? All right, I appreciate you guys. If you want to follow me, my social media is in the description below. Give me a follow, send me a message. Don't be a jerk about it, and we'll be good. All right. All right. So until next time, true believers, I have no idea where this is going, but I'm going to be right there with you, and we're going to break some of this stuff down. Excelsior.